Welcome back, everyone. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to look forward to those Sunday dinners. When my mom woke up extra early before church and prepared baked turkey wings, yo, when I tell you those things were always so amazing, wow, I wish I could travel back in time. All right, here's your shopping list. All right, so you got your russet potatoes, that's 2 to 3. And then you got fresh curly parsley. In our aromatics, you got fresh rosemary. We got yellow onion. They're already peeled up for you guys. And then if you don't have any of this at home, make sure you get some better than bouillon. When I tell you this stuff is amazing, it is amazing. It levels the playing field when it comes to seasoning, that's for sure. And then you got your fresh garlic, and then fresh thyme, and of course, the star of the show, those turkey wings. And straight out the gate, you're gonna go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. You wanna do that early, ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about it. And also, here's another pro tip. You wanna go ahead with your turkey wings, you wanna marinate those too. So everything that we're about to do to those turkey wings, make sure you give them at least 2 hours minimum, or a good 24 hours if you can. All right, so now what we're doing right here, we're chopping up this fresh garlic. Mine is gonna be close to a mince, so you might as well say mince, but I do like mine on the chunkier side. I'm a garlic fan, okay? Or at least fresh garlic. Now, if you don't have fresh garlic, it's fine. Use the minced one that already comes in the jar. And if you can't get your hands on that, it's okay. Go ahead, grab you some garlic powder and you'll be good to go. It doesn't matter. So, but if you are using fresh garlic, as you can see, just follow along what I'm doing and keep in mind, when you handling a knife, if you're not a knife wielder, one of those ones who really know how to, use knives, be careful, follow the manufacturer instructions so you make sure you don't cut yourself. And lastly, a dull knife is far more dangerous than a sharp knife. People tend to cut themselves much more with dull knives, okay? So just be careful, make sure you follow instructions. Now, as you can see, I'm chopping this garlic up. I left mine a little on the chunkier side. I didn't do that minced really fine garlic chop like most people do, okay? So now from there, we're going straight to this chopped parsley. And as you can see, I'm being careful with my hands, not to put my hand underneath that blade, and making sure I'm keeping a nice distance between my hand and the blade. And just go ahead and keep chopping that up. You don't want to chop it too much because you get into the category of bruising. That's when you basically, a lot of the green color is coming out of the garlic, okay? So I'm chopping it enough that it's not too coarse, but it's not too chopped up, okay? And then once you get done with that, that's gonna go directly into the bowl with the rest of your aromatics. And what we're doing right now is we're building flavors, guys, okay? I know you hear me say that a lot. You hear me preach that a lot on here, but building flavors is everything. So now with that fresh rosemary, just do just what I'm doing. Just literally slide your hands down and just pull those little leaves off. Yeah, and just continue to do that. Get all that in there. And then now that's what it should look like right before you get ready to start working on your turkey wings. So now I'm using neutral flavor oil. This is avocado oil. As I told you before, it's heart healthy. It's really good for you. So you want to just give yourself maybe about 2 tablespoons of oil, maybe a little bit less. I would say just a tablespoon. That's enough just to coat it. And the measurements for the seasoning mixture, well, actually the recipe for this seasoning mixture that I'm putting on the turkey wings, it'll be down in the description below. And this is something that you want to do before you start working on everything. Make your seasoning mix, already have it ready and handy. And then now I'm going to just take these aromatics and just go ahead and get that in the bowl with this. Careful, so the bowl that I'm using, it's a glass bowl, but I just want to make sure that I'm not going to waste any of these on the table. So that's why I'm taking my time and working that in first. So I started with my oil. And then now I'm just gonna mix that by hand just a little bit, making sure a lot of the aromatics make sure a lot of these aromatics get all within the turkey wings and all underneath them, okay? And then after that, you wanna hit that with a little bit more seasoning. Now, in the midst of you doing this, keep in mind, the seasoning mixture is something you made yourself, and also make sure you taste it, guys. That way you know just how much you can use. Some people like more seasoning than others. So, and then another pro tip is, if you feel that it's starting to stick a lot while you're trying to get the seasoning all around it, add a little bit more oil just to help it slide around it and get on top of it. But don't drench it, because remember, Turkey wings, they produce a lot of oil in themselves. So you might have to skim this a little bit too, depending on your application and how you're gonna eat it at the end, okay? So just be mindful of that. So now you got that all marinated. We don't clean our board down again. And then now we're gonna get those turkey wings into the baking pan and right into the oven. So be mindful, if you're not able to marinate your turkey wings, then that's when you wanna go ahead and generously season them, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't have time to marinate, you just don't have time. You know, everyone just don't have, the same amount of time. So it's cool. All right, so go ahead, get that in there. Make sure you scrape that bowl. Get all that flavor out of there, because that's that flavor, baby. Get that flavor. All right? And like my uncle used to always say, what don't kill you, fill you. So make sure you get all that out that bowl. All right, so once you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and hit it with the chicken base. Now you wanna make sure you don't make that too salty. Be mindful of the salt, be mindful how much salt you season these with. So you're not making stuff too salty, okay? Because the chicken base does have a lot of flavor, does have salt, okay? And the purpose of this, we're just making sure the turkey wings stay nice and hydrated. Now, if you happen to make a little mess like I did, just make sure you clean that up, okay? It's raw turkey, so you wanna make sure you clean that, okay? To keep, so you can prevent cross-contamination. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put some aluminum foil on these, and they're going into that 400 degrees oven. And these are gonna bake until they reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees. And at that point, which I'll cover a little bit later, once they hit 165, we're gonna take them out of the oven, and then we're gonna uncover them, and then we're gonna bake them on broil until they are nice and brown the way we want them, okay? And it's okay to baste them a little bit too. All right, so now let's go ahead and get that in the oven. And next, we're gonna go ahead and start on our potatoes. Now, those potatoes are already cleaned and washed, and you wanna make sure you have a bowl of cold water sitting to the side as well. And you're just gonna follow along just the way you see me cutting these potatoes as well. Now, the purpose of that cold water is to keep your potatoes from turning brown. Because if you just cut potatoes and sit them to the side, they will turn brown on you, because potatoes are starch and they are really starchy. So the water helps relieve the potatoes of a lot of that starch. So once we cut them all up, then we're gonna get them in that bowl, and we're just gonna set them aside, okay? So now, this is a good time too for those of you who may not be too versed with knives. This is a great time to work on your knife skills, because the more you chop and the more you cut, the better you get. And then you'll realize you don't have to cut everything with a serrated knife like a lot of people tend to do, because they just feel more comfortable. But that takes a lot more work. And here's another pro tip as well. When you're gonna cut things, whether it be potatoes, vegetables, or even meats, you wanna use a cutting board. So now we got all those potatoes in there. We just wanna make sure they're covered, and we're gonna set that to the side. And before we start on our next task, we're gonna go ahead and wipe down the board really quick. And now we're gonna start working on our herbs and the aromatics. So now we got some fresh curly parsley. Just like earlier, we're gonna go ahead and just chop that up. And I'm taking the time just to show you guys, how to chop that parsley, keeping your hand across the top of the blade, and making sure while you're doing this, you don't take your hand off of that knife, okay? And this is the fastest way to chop it. You just chop a little bit, take your hand, take the knife, bring it close to you, and just go back. It's like a wash, rinse, and repeat. And then after you're done with that, you're gonna go with that neutral flavor oil. This is avocado oil. I'm always cooking with avocado oil if you see me. So now, that seasoning mixture that I'm using for this, the recipe will be down in the description below, so feel free to check that out. Just like the seasoning mixture you saw earlier for the turkey wings. So you want to generously season your potatoes. Hit it with that parsley. And then now we're going in with that fresh thyme. And keep in mind, I want to emphasize this again. Make sure you generously season your potatoes. And the reason you're going to generously season, because you're not going to let them marinate. And the reason we're not going to let them marinate, because you don't want them turning brown, okay? So I'm adding a little extra oil just to ensure my seasoning is getting all around those potatoes, okay? So yeah, you just want to go ahead and just mix those up really good. And if you need to add a little bit more seasoning, feel free, but generously season these, okay? Oh yeah, that's that money right there. So now it's game time. So now we got our turkey wings in the oven. We got our potatoes seasoned. So now with our pan, I'd already got aluminum foil on it, and I already got it all ready for you guys. I'm gonna take a moment just so I can spray it really quick with some pan spray. So you might be asking, why do I have aluminum foil on this pan? So we don't have a dirty pan that we gotta wash later. That's like, you know, all sticky from the roasted potatoes. This will save you some time when you're gonna wash the dishes, okay? So trust me, that's a method that you definitely wanna use, and get that in the oven. Now, we're gonna take a moment and look at our turkey wings, because I don't have these in the oven cooking for a while now. And I'm sure by now they are just about done. Oh yeah, they look amazing. Look at that. Those look incredible. So now, these are pretty much done. I've had them cooking for a while. So now, I wanna let them cook a little bit longer. And that's just a preference thing, because me, I like mine really, really tender, okay? So although they are done and they just about falling off the bone, just about, I'm gonna go ahead and just flip all these over, and I'm gonna get these back in the oven, and I'm gonna cook these uncovered, okay? Now, the reason I'm cooking them uncovered is because I want them to brown. So you just wanna do just like you see me doing. Flip them all over. Make sure you got the nicest side up. And then after you're done with that, oh yeah, see that? There you go. Yeah. So if you was wondering if they was done or not, you just saw how easily I just broke that. So now, and it tastes incredible. So now, what I'm gonna do is go ahead, put those in the oven, and I'm gonna bake them uncovered, okay? So there was a reason when I was doing this video why I didn't put these potatoes in the thumbnail. Although they look great, they look incredible. Yeah, here's a close up. You see that? Oh yeah, let me turn that around for y'all. But that was a reason why I didn't show that. Because somebody comes in the kitchen and wanted to help themselves to my potatoes. Sheesh. And my daughter just started funny as ever. But anyway, this is what y'all came to see right here. This is your turkey wings right here. And I decided to pair it with some yellow rice, with some carrots and some peas in it. I mean, this is literally comfort food. This is Sunday morning, growing up at mama's house. Her cooking in the kitchen before it was time to go to church, and this is sweet childhood memories to me. Oh my God. Oh, that is so good. I'm not gonna say no more. If you've gotten any value out of this, smash that like button, subscribe, and if you've watched the video this far, make sure you share it and drop lots of comments. And until next time, peace.